Happy New Year. Welcome back. I hope that your holiday season and your New Year celebrations were wonderful and nourishing, and that you are feeling inspired and ready to take on this new year. We're in the pit of winter right now, and if you're like me and you're in Arizona, it hasn't really felt like winter, to be honest. Our world is changing and the seasons are shifting a bit, but the theme is still the same. The days are still really short, and this time of year is all about building that strength within us. And what I mean by that is you can look around and see the evergreen trees and how resilient they are. They stand strong and steady, and they hold onto their pine needles all winter. And I find them really inspiring, their steadiness to just hold strong throughout the seasons. But us humans, we aren't like that. We are like the other trees, the ones that lose their leaves. We have this shedding process happen in the depth of winter. And I think of our essence, our energy source, as seeds that lie dormant inside of the ground. And so underneath me, there's just thousands of seeds that are waiting for the spring to come so that they can emerge. But they're not still right now. They're not inactive. They're building strength underneath the soil. And I think of this time of year as a time where, the new year comes and we all want to start taking action, but it's not quite spring energy yet. So there is this balance, this yin and yang, this learning how to still be quiet and soft while starting to build that strength and resilience for the year ahead. So that being the theme today, there'll be moments of intensity and moments of stillness. However you come to your mat today, please just honor yourself and know that you are right where you need to be. So come onto your mat. Let's come into child's pose to start. Hands and knees wide, big toes toward each other. Send your hips back towards your heels and crawl your arms forward. Rest your forehead towards your mat. And just start here in this very passive pose, this kind of bowing to the self here, bowing to the earth. Just feel into your breath. Watch as it moves into your body. Feel the places where your body touches the ground. So hands, they root down, your knees and tops of feet root down. One more breath here. Come forward and walk your knees and feet back quite a few inches. Tuck your toes, shift your hips up and back. Down dog. Feel into this down dog. Maybe it's been a while since you've been on your mat, so down dog is this beautiful opportunity to feel into our body, especially the backside of our body, maybe for the first time in a while. So you can pedal your feet, sway your hips side to side, stay steady through your hands. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Take our first forward fold at the front of your mat. So feet hip width, maybe even a little wider if you're feeling tight. I know I get really tight in the winter. I hold a lot of tension in my body. So hands down, knees soft, neck relaxed. With soft knees, start to rise up, stretch up, arms overhead, big reach. And release your arms down to your sides, mountain pose. Front of mat, stand tall. Inner edge of legs together. On your next breath in, reach up, stretch up. And on your next breath out, fold, hands all the way down. As you inhale, slide your hands to your shins, lift your chest, look forward, really move your spine more straight, stretch. Plant your hands, step to plank. Take a full breath in here. As you exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Tops of feet to the ground, hands by ribs, curl up cobra pose, big breath in. Exhale, lower, push up and back, downward facing dog. These sun salutations, these Surya Namaskar, movements that we're familiar with. We do these a lot in this practice, allowing your body to move through the movements it knows. Inhale here. Exhale, step your feet to your hands. Inhale, hands to shins, extend your spine, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up, arms overhead. Exhale, fold, hands all the way down. Inhale, extend. Plant your hands, step or hop to plank. Lower all the way down. Inhale, curl up, cobra or up dog if you're an up dog person. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Just building heat in the body. Starting to warm ourselves up. Inhale here. Exhale, step or hop, feet to hands. Inhale, hands to shins, extend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up, arms overhead. Exhale, fold, hands all the way down. Inhale, extend. Step or hop, plank. Lower all the way down. Inhale, curl up, back bend. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Step or hop, feet to hands. Inhale, hands to shins, extend. Exhale, fold. Dropping into chair pose, bend your knees, send your hips back, lift your chest, arms reach up overhead. Settle in here for this first one. Feel your legs start to turn on. Firm your glute muscles and let your hips settle a little further down and back. Tone your belly. Now lengthen through your spine, arms up, chest forward, heart forward. One more breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, extend. Step or hop, plank. Flow through the vinyasa. Use your breath. Downward facing dog, full exhale. Between your hands, step your right foot forward. Lower your back heel to the ground and come up for warrior one, our first warrior pose. So let yourself settle. Let your hips go down and forward, right knee over to the right. Even tuck your right hip back so your hips are more square. Keep your hands shoulder width, or if you like, palms together, reach up, stretch up, inhale. Exhale, touch down, step to plank, flow through the vinyasa. Full exhale, down dog. Left foot forward. Back heel down, come on up, warrior one. If your pace is slower than mine, you don't have to rush. There's no rush. We're just trying to keep our body moving. Left hip back. If your palms are together, big reach. Exhale, touch down, flow. Few breaths here, going as slow as your breath wants you to go. Big inhale. Exhale, step or hop, feet to hands. Inhale, hands to shins, extend. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, chair pose, drop your hips. One breath, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extend. Step or hop, plank. One more time, flow through. One more, Surya Namaskar B. Step your right foot forward. Lower your back heel down. Come on up, one breath, warrior one. Exhale, touch down, flow. And I'm doing up dog, but if you're doing cobra, totally fine. Do the back bend that feels good. Left foot forward. Back heel down, come on up, warrior one. On your exhale, touch down, flow. Inhale, curl up. Full exhale, push back, downward facing dog, settle here. Deep breaths. We're gonna do side plank on the right side. If you like side plank with your knee down for support, you can lower your right knee down, lower the inner edge of your back foot down and reach your left arm up. If you're an ankle stack person, you can take full side plank, whatever you like, but really grip through your bottom fingertips, stack your shoulders, get your hips nice and high. Touch down, step back, downward facing dog. Same thing, left side. If you want to lower your left knee, you can. Inner edge of back foot down. Stacking here, making sure your hand is out in front of your shoulder. Or if you like your ankles stacked, more of a challenge here. You don't have to force it. If you aren't feeling steady in your bottom hand, go for knee down. Do what feels supportive. Touch down, step back, down dog. Bring the inner edge of your legs together. Reach your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Swing it all the way through to a lunge. So keep your back heel lifted, front knee is over your heel. Come on up, high lunge, crescent lunge. Settle in, find your balance so you're steadying your gaze to one point. And then tuck your right hip back so your hips are more square. Make your back leg really straight. And think cat pose in your low spine. Tuck your tailbone so your pelvis kind of tips back. Keep all of that good work as you open up for warrior two. Root down through your back heel. Keep your right knee moving over to the right. Equal weight in both feet. Let your hips settle down and forward. Lift your chest. Take a full breath. As you exhale, touch down, step to plank. And if you've had enough, you can hold here or flow through the vinyasa. Use your breath. Left leg, reach it up and back. Swing it all the way through to a lunge. Keep your back heel lifted. Come on up, high lunge. Find your balance, steady your gaze. Gaze to one point. Left hip, tuck it back so your hips are more square. And as you press your back thigh up towards the sky, tip your tailbone back, pelvis back a little. Hips down and forward. Lower your back heel, open up warrior two, rooting down through both feet, and this left knee, it likes to cave into the middle, so make it move over to the left as it bends. Hips settle down towards the ground, chest high. Even lift your chin. One more breath. Exhale, touch down, step to plank. Hold here or flow through the vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Reach your right leg up and back. Step it through to a lunge. This time, lower your back heel down first and do this kind of backward cartwheel action. Come up, warrior two. So we've been here, just settle into it. Lift your chest, really lengthen through your spine. Reach your right hand forward, come forward for extended side angle. So there's a few options. Your hand can either rest outside of your leg with your shoulders stacked, or if you feel like this is really uncomfortable in your hips, give yourself more space and bring your forearm up on top of your thigh. Whichever version, try to stack your shoulders on top of each other and reach your top arm up. Hips settle down and forward. Really strong through your legs. And keep your left hand reaching up as you squeeze your front leg straight, sliding your hand up to your shin, but be really light through your bottom hand. Or if you're a hand on the ground person and you're playing there, you can play there. Just try to make sure your chest, your heart isn't facing the ground. Have your heart open to the sky. Strong through your legs, long spine. One more breath. Exhale, touch down, step to plank. Hold or flow. keeping our bodies warm as we move through these movements. Downward facing dog. Left leg, reach it up and back. Step through to a lunge. Back heel down first, cartwheel up, warrior two. Settle. Find your stance, root down through both feet. Lengthen your spine. And reach through your left hand, coming into extended side angle. Your version, whether it's hand down or forearm to thigh with your palm facing up to the sky. Doesn't matter, just let your hips settle down and forward. And if it's too tricky to challenge your balance and look up, you can look down. I'm cool with that. But keep your shoulders stacked as you squeeze your front leg straight, sliding your hand to your shin or your ankle. Or again, if you're playing with hand on the ground, you can. It's triangle pose. Strong legs. Long spine. One more steady breath. Exhale, touch down, step to plank. Hold or flow through. Meeting in downward facing dog. Shift forward into plank pose and try to be particular about your plank. So you don't want your hips really high. Try to get your hips in line with your shoulders, but not to the point where you feel like they're dropping. Higher is better than lower. Really push the earth away with your hands. So try to broaden across your upper back. Feel your shoulder blades slide apart from each other as you push. Pull your belly in and look slightly out in front of you. Feel the core, body, center, home start to turn on. And if you want to stay here, you can stay here. Or left forearm lowers first. Lower to your left forearm and then your right one. You want your elbows just about right under your shoulders. Same thing. Push your forearms down, pull your belly in. Look slightly out in front of you. Now, left hand first, push your left hand down, come up under your right hand, plank. Hold here. Or this time, right forearm first, then your left forearm, forearm plank, breathe. Right hand first, left hand, plank, take a full breath in. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog, very good. Walk your feet forward. Take a forward fold at the front of your mat. I like to bring my legs all the way together here. And start to bend your knees. Send your hips down and back a bit. Bring your right hand to the top of your right thigh. Reach your left arm up. Big reach. Twist to the right. Round your back. Hook your tricep or your elbow outside of your right knee and place your palms together. Point your elbows up and down. And take a moment to look down and line up your toes in one line and your knees so that left knee isn't moving in front of the right one. If you can keep that, bend your knees, send your hips down and back. Now looking down, you can either stay here, this is so much, or start to lift your left heel up. Maybe in one step or multiple steps, step your left foot back into a lunge. Now we're in twisted lunge, really pressing your right knee into your left arm. Really straight back leg. Inhale here. As you exhale, very gently lower your back knee to the ground. Untwist, reach your arms up, Anjaneyasana, monkey lunge. Push down through both feet, get long through your spine. Maybe even find a little back bend in your upper back. One more breath. Exhale, touch down, lift your back knee, step your back foot forward and forward fold. You can shake your head yes and no, lean the weight into your hands, give your legs a break. Now weight in heels, Send your hips down and back. Bring your left hand this time on top of your left thigh. Reach your right arm up. Big reach. Twist to the left. Hook your arm outside of your leg and place your palms together. Now that right knee is gonna wanna creep in front of the left one, so you have to look down, line up your toes and line up your knees so they're flush. Send your hips down and back. Try to get out of the turtle shell, lengthen your spine, chin out of chest. Stay here, or lifting your right heel. Step your right foot back behind you, lunge. Really straighten your back leg right away, it'll help balance. And press your left knee into your right arm. Lower your back knee. Untwist, reach up, Anjaneyasana. Press down through your feet, lengthen your spine, maybe a little back bend. One more breath. Exhale, touch down, lift your back knee, step forward. As you inhale, extend your spine, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Not quite the end of this flow, but the end of the down dog, so take a minute to feel in. And then lower your knees, cross your ankles, have a seat behind your feet, and come to a seated position. And what we're gonna do is bring our right shin parallel to the short edge of the mat, so you're probably facing forward. Flex your right foot so that the sole of your foot points over to the left. And then either bring your left shin in front of your right one, walking your feet side to side. So you'll probably end up about here. You want to walk your feet side to side until your ankles are under your knees. And if you're feeling a hip stretch here, rock this. You can just place your hands to your feet, lean forward. If you want more of a hip stretch, coming into fire logs, you can stack your shins and bring your hands to the soles of your feet. Now, like I said, in the winter, I'm extra tight. I spend a lot of time kind of clenched up and freezing. So this is pretty difficult for me right now. So I'll just kind of either hold my knee and lean to the left, or even take that first position. But if you're rocking it and your shins are stacked, you can just hinge forward and work there. If you're upright like me, you can bring your chin to your chest a little, and it helps feel more secure in the knees if you really push your feet side to side into your hands. Deep breaths. If you have folded forward, use your hands to help you lift your chest. And then bring your hands back behind you so you can switch sides, bringing your left shin parallel to the short edge of your mat, foot flexed, pointing over to the right. And then either stacking your right shin in front, walking your feet side to side, or stack your right shin on top of your left one. Fire logs, Agni Stambhasana. Only fitting with the fire behind me. And if your shins are stacked and it's feeling really supported, you can fold forward. Otherwise, like me, you can cradle your knee or bring your hands to the soles of your feet. But even here, try to lean to the right so that your right sitting bone gets more on the ground, and really feel into that stretch. Tucking your chin, giving yourself some deep breaths. If you've folded forward, use your hands, bring yourself more upright. Brace yourself with your hands behind you, uncross, and have a lie back on your back. So lie back, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor with your knees bent. And reach your arms alongside you. We're going to set up for one bridge pose. So arms alongside you, feet as wide as hips. Press your shoulders down and peel your spine up away from the ground. And as your hips lift, walk your shoulders underneath you. Maybe interlace your hands. If they don't reach, don't worry about it. You can just make fists with your hands. But pressing through your feet, squeeze your glutes and get your hips as high as you can. But as high as you can means where you can still breathe. A couple more steady breaths. Support yourself with your shoulders as you slowly roll your hips back down. You can invite your knees into your chest. Don't crank them in, just let them rest lightly there. I like to rest my hands on the tops of my knees. Rock side to side. If there's any position that your body wants you to take right now before we settle into a quick rest, please take it. And sometimes people say like, oh, I don't know, what would I possibly do? I want to challenge you to turn inward and just listen for the wisdom of your body and see if your body has anything that it's craving right now, whether it's a forward fold of any kind, more hip opening. If it's nothing, then just be here. And start to extend your legs long. If you're cold and you want a blanket, make sure you're comfortable, arms alongside you. And just settle in here for the next minute and be with your breath. Back into your body. Wiggle your potentially cold fingers and toes. Moving slowly, bend your knees, placing your feet flat on the ground. And roll to rest to one side, allowing the earth to hold you for just a couple more moments here. Use your hands. Push yourself back up seated. And there we are. Thank you so much for practicing. Sometimes it doesn't take a full hour. Sometimes just a quick practice can make us feel so much more still and calm and yet energized and ready to take on whatever it is we need to take on. I commend you for making it back to your practice. And I hope that whatever this year has in store for you, that it's wonderful, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.